All right, so I realized that changing my resolution made it nice and big on my monitor, and then when it recorded my previous screens, it kept that big resolution, but it didn't fill the recording size. So I've switched my resolution back. I apologize for that, but at this point, we're just going to have to deal with it. So let's use the connection that we managed to get to our server and actually run a query on our database. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I want to create a string with the query that I want to run from my database. And I'll just create a small query. I want to do a select. Let's get name in the district, the country code, if I can type correctly. And we'll get that from the city table. And remember, I'm putting a semicolon at the end of my query, but I also need a semicolon at the end of my Java statement. So that might look a little funny. So there, I've set up the query that I want to run. Now I need to do a prepared statement. So we will do prepared statement, and we will call it PS. So we're going to create a prepared statement object, and we're going to use that connection that we established up here called conn, C-O-N-N, and we are going to use prepared statement out of there, prepare statement, and we're going to pass it a string. So it's this one right here. And the string we're going to pass it is actually not SQL. We're going to run our query. So autocomplete didn't help us really there. It picked the wrong, made the wrong choice. Now prepared statement, we don't know about that class. It doesn't give us any options here. So we'll have to add that import manually because it's not picking the right one for us. So up here at the top of our code, we want to import java.sql prepared statement. And that should clean that up for us. And now that we have a prepared statement, we can execute it. So before we execute it, we need a place to store the result that comes back to us. So we will use a result set. And we'll call that rs equals. Now immediately, result set, we can't find that. So up here, we'll import it. java.sql.result set. So we need that class as well. And NetBeans doesn't seem too happy to automatically import those for us. I'm not sure if it's a configuration thing on mine or whether you'll have the same problem, but I've been having to do them manually. It's not a big deal. So we'll call our prepared statement PS, and we'll call its execute query. So it's going to take the query that we used with our prepared statement and execute it. Okay, and it's going to store the results in this RS. Let's run that and see if it works. You don't get any errors. Okay, success printed out before this actually happened, but it never threw an exception, so we're still okay. So let's do a little loop. Let's make a while loop. And we'll say rs.next. So while there's something left in our result set here, and what are we going to print? Let's do we'll do rs, which is our result set, dot get string 1. Okay, so when our result set comes back, it's going to have the name in column 1, the district in column 2, and the country code in column 3. So we're going to get string 1 should get us our name, the name of our city. And let's concatenate on to that a comma and a space. And then to make things cleaner, I'm going to come down here, and then we'll add on, we'll concatenate rs get string 2. And then let's concatenate onto that space dash, do a dash. And then onto that, we'll do get string 3. And we have our closing. Let's run that and see what happens. And there we have it. Down here, it's a little small. I have this huge set of cities that are built into this test database. So I'm going to scroll back down to the bottom of this because I think there's some USAs, and I can read some of those names. Bellevue, comma, Washington, dash USA, which were the city, the region, which in the United States is the state, followed by the country. So there's a bunch of USA cities: Cape Coral, Florida, Santa Clara, California. But here we have Hari. I don't know what ZWE even is. I don't know what that country abbreviation is. But you can see that we're able to run the select query. And if we just wanted the USA, we could say where, what were we selecting here? Where country code equals USA. If we wanted to limit and only see the USA ones, we could do that. But we can see that we have a database connection. It's working. I'm able to query the database and print out all these cities, their regions, and the country they're from. So our database drivers are working. Okay. Again, running database queries is no more difficult if you know SQL. That's not the hard part of this. Getting the connection set up the first time is usually the hardest part of creating a Java project that connects to a database. So there's a lot of steps involved in doing it correctly. Take your time, follow it closely, and you'll get it.